What's going on, guys? Welcome to Tech Savvy Buyer. So today we're going to take a look at the Vankyo Leisure 420 1080p projector. Is this guy actually worth $100? Let's find out. So welcome back, guys. Now I want to give a special thanks to Vankyo for making this video possible by sending this product in for review. Let's go ahead and do a quick unboxing, take a look at all the good stuff that comes with it, and then we'll cover all the different features that are available on this projector. So a couple things about this projector off the bat that I like. I like that it came packaged in this actual carrying case. This is pretty useful if you're going to be traveling. Now, it's obvious that when sending a case like this that's intended to make this thing more portable, you're probably not going to want this projector to be fixed in any specific place, such as like a home theater room or anything like that. And I'll explain the reasoning why. And I don't know why this thing was so stuck, but it's a nice little carry case. You've got your space to put the projector in, you've got space to put your accessories such as the remote and everything that came with it, and then you also have a slot on top for manual. You can actually throw in discs or games or whatever it is that you're carrying around, even memory cards. So let's talk about the features of this actual projector. Now, I like the build and design of this. This is actually really portable and it's not super bulky at all. This does not weigh a ton at all, and it's actually, very easy to carry around, and the case just makes that super easier. And now on the back of it, you have a connector for hooking up a VGA device. Although that's not super popular anymore these days, it's good to see that they still give you that option if you want. On the other side, you have two HDMI ports, an HDMI 1, HDMI 2. Both are capable of outputting 1080p 60 hertz per second signals. And in addition to that, you have a USB port as well. This is great if you want to use like a Google Chromecast, or if you want to use a Fire Stick. You can plug it in directly through the HDMI and actually power it from the onboard USB port on here. Kind of makes it a lot more easier and clean setup if you're just going to do some streaming and you have Wi-Fi available. In addition to that, you have a headphone jack if you want to plug in external speakers, or if you actually want to have some crazy long headphones that plug into this while you're projecting. And you also have an AV port, and that's actually the included cable that they provided, is to plug into an AV. So if you have an old school TV, or an old school device, you can plug that into this and plug this into the AV, and it'll actually take audio and everything in it. Now, speaking of audio, most projectors don't have good quality speakers. That's not true for this little guy. For $100, this thing puts out a pretty significant amount of volume that has decent levels of bass. Now, this is by no means any kind of comparison to a soundbar or a home theater system, but given the fact that it's portable and you want to fill a room with decent amount of sound, this will definitely get the job done. A couple other nice touches that they did that I liked was just the fact that it came with a lens cover. I've seen a couple projectors that are more expensive, or 5 to 6 or 10 times the price of this, that don't even come with that. So it's a nice touch. On the top of it, you have your typical menu control buttons. You've got your power menu, and you can adjust the volume settings, you can adjust the source, all the different little settings that you want to adjust in there. And last but not least, on the top, you have a focus and a keystone adjuster. Now, the keystone adjuster just kind of makes the image kind of twist like this or this if you're watching it at an angle. So that's a useful feature to have, although there's a very significant sweet spot to find yourself on before these work. So, and the same goes for the focus. Like, you'll know when you're adjusting it that you found the sweet spot. If you're a little off, it's going to be blurry, and if you're a little off the other way, it's going to be blurry as well. And with the keystone, the image will look distorted until you find the exact spot that you're looking for. Now, quality of this, guys, for the focus and keystone, honestly, it's not the best. I think they could have done a better job in making this thing work nicer, even just the motion of the lens coming out of the projector while you're doing focusing. And overall, just the fact that you have to be on a very, very specific sweet spot for it to get a nice quality image that's watchable, it's kind of iffy. Now, in terms of brightness, this is using a LED bulb inside. So it's not a halogen bulb, which means it's not going to produce as much heat and you get a lot more life out of it. Now, interestingly enough, the native resolution out of the box on this is 800 by 480, which sounds really bad, but it displays images up to 1080p without a problem at all. So it It's kind of confusing how they worded that on their packaging, but that's pretty much what they stated. Now, it doesn't really specify what the brightness of this, but I can tell you guys in my testing, you cannot really use this in a bright environment or a room with even ambient lighting. You need to have a very, very dark room for the image to really pop, shall I say. And that's when the colors and everything look kind of more, vivid. Out of the box, the settings that I noticed looked very, very blue, and everything kind of had this cold wash over it. It was so much to the fact that I actually thought there was something wrong with the projector, or it might have been defective. But until I didn't go around in the settings and play around and adjust the warmness of it, kind of tone back the blues and raise up the greens and reds, the picture started to come out a lot nicer, and it didn't look like it was oversaturated or it was kind of fake or whatnot. So overall picture quality on this is not bad at all. It's definitely worth getting this just for its picture quality alone. Now you can go up to a maximum size of 140-inch screen with this, but I will say that after getting past around 60 to 65 inches of screen, the image quality did tend to deteriorate, which was not something that I would recommend anyone to use. So now the other thing that I point out is for adjusting it, on the bottom you just have one little knob here to adjust the angle of it, which honestly is a bit of a disappointment because you don't have the capability to offset it if it's not level. So that was one thing I struggled with using a stand, trying to make sure that it was level, and I actually had to wedge a little piece of cardboard underneath it just so that it stayed flat. To me, that's a big no-no. I mean, especially if you're gonna be using this on any kind of a stand, or if you're gonna be using it, trying to use it on a surface that you wanna project your image a little bit higher at some kind of an angle if it's not flat with the wall. So all in all, is this worth $100? It's actually $109.99, but there is a coupon that you can clip that'll take $10 off to make it $100. But the question is this guy worth $100? And I would say, given the fact that it's portable, it's got a decent supportive resolution, there's a good quality speaker in there, there's an LED bulb inside that lasts 40,000 hours, and you have a plethora of connections, not to mention there's also a micro SD slot in here, or actually just an SD card slot, not micro SD, but you can put in, videos and photos and stuff on that card and just play directly, so you don't need any other device with this. Suppose if you want to watch a movie somewhere and you want to stay as light as possible. Given that, I think it's absolutely worth a cheap price tag of $100. $100 is really not a lot of money when it comes to getting into a projector space. Now, is this suitable for a home theater? Absolutely not. This should be one of those kind of toy things that you keep on the side that's handy for when you're traveling somewhere, or if you're showing a presentation to someone, or a company or something like that. That's where I would say that this is good for. In terms of actually watching movies or gaming on it, I probably would skip it because it's not going to get you the quality that you're looking for. And for most people who are trying to get into projectors for the first time, you don't want to start off with something that's this cheap just because it might turn off the entire experience for you. So all in all, guys, if you want to go ahead and purchase this, I do have a link in the description below where you guys can go ahead and grab one. It's only $100, like I mentioned. It's kind of up to you if you think that this will match your needs. I personally would skip on this. I think it is worth its price, but this is not something that I would purchase myself or have any kind of use for. With that being said, that pretty much concludes the review of the Vankyo Leisure 420 projector, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this projector in the comments below. And if you guys have any questions, ask me there as well. But again, thank you very much for watching this, guys. Go ahead and drop a like on this video if you thought this content was great and useful for you. And if you're new to the channel, do consider subscribing. And until then, guys, I will see you in my next videos. Take care.